Okay, it's recording now.
Okay. Hi. How you
Hi,
doing, H?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Did you swim today?
No, I didn't. We ended up going out for breakfast instead and then coming home. And
Oh.
yeah,
Did you eat any carbs?
all the carbs. I couldn't decide what I wanted, so I got bacon, biscuits and gravy, French toast with potatoes, and ham and eggs. I had all of it. I ate all of it. Oh, and flour tortillas, because you gotta have tortillas with your papas. So.
I went out with Sarah and Denise today, and I ate the kids' meal grilled chicken breast and seasonal vegetables. I didn't have any. You look so. It's fun. Thanks for the sympathy. It's pretty good though. All right. So what are we doing today, girl?
We are interviewing a Sarsahr Shaman, and the reason why we call him shaman is just because that's the closest translation that Sam and I could think of. Another word that I used for them was elders, but Sam didn't like that because it made it sound like they're all just old men. You don't really have to be an
I
old
know
man.
because Sam's only like 150 or something. He's still
Right,
young.
exactly. So you're still grainy to me. I don't know what it is with your side. On my side, it looks
Ah,
fine, but I don't know.
got shit in my walls. No, I got an electrical problem.
Oh,
I have to
okay.
have my house rewired. I
Oh,
haven't done that yet. So, and it's a little stormy here too.
okay. So that's going against us too. So
I have my
sorry.
clear is my voice clear though?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So sorry in advance, you guys, if it gets all, hiccupy. Um, anyway, so he's here, and I want to explain what he's wearing. It's this type of robe, and it's all
What are you
white.
wearing?
What are you wearing? Like, he's wearing this white robe, and it's what they usually wear. They're
Okay.
shamans.
Okay.
Um, and he has his hands like, hold on, you can't really see my hands. So he has his hands like neatly
Okay.
folded into the sleeves and stuff, like a
Okay.
freaking, what's that called?
Muff, like the little girls wear their muffs,
Yeah.
the little mufflers.
So yeah, he's super peace and calm. You know, he, he's very calm. Okay, so I'm just gonna go.
Oh gosh. All right, I just feel like I'm being thrown to the lions this time, but that's
I'm
okay. I bet
sorry.
he's a very nice lion, I'm sure.
Very nice. He doesn't understand the reference. He's a little different than the
Okay.
ones we usually interview. He may not
Uh-oh.
understand a lot of our verbiage, so you may
Okay.
have to explain a few things to him.
Hey, this is going to be interesting. Whew. Okay, Carrie, you got this.
Okay, you're gonna make me laugh. You can't. You can't talk. Oh, and also, this is only his second time doing this, so it may take him a minute.
Okay. Hi.
Hello.
Are you settled in or not yet?
I believe so.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you know me, but hi, I'm Carrie. Who are you?
I do not have a name in English.
Uh-oh. Okay, so, I don't know what to call you then.
The
Well,
shaman?
okay, the shaman. I was going to ask you what title you prefer. I was going to go with that. So you're down for the shaman.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So can we start with your definition of what it means to be a shaman?
I don't know much about the humans' understanding of shamanism.
Okay.
However, for our people, we are individuals who help with the expansion of not just technologically, but your spiritually
Okay.
and further advancement, because to us it is not just technological advancements, it's also us as individuals advancing further.
Right.
and we provide guidance for our people as they continue forward in their evolution.
Okay. And since we don't have the same concept of time and years, have you been a shaman for a very long time? Or are
Yes,
you a
I've
newbie?
started
Yeah.
practicing, studying the ways since I was, uh, your age would be around the teens, a
Oh,
teenager.
okay. Okay.
I've
And
dated
so,
my entire life to these ways.
so relatively speaking, you started as a teenager. So are you like what? A grandpa? Sorry.
I do not have grandchildren.
Are you old enough to have grandchildren? How's that?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I do not have any. I don't have any children either. I prefer
Okay.
not to bring any into this world. I found that my studies were much more important to me. My duty was to my people, and those are my children.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, I'm gonna like you, aren't I? Okay, well, I don't, H sent me a bunch of questions from the people that are in our group, and I haven't even looked at them. So I'm going to jump right in, and I always add my little bits and pieces along the way. So I'm going to apologize to you and everybody else out there if I trip up on my words, because I haven't really looked at these questions yet. So, well, before I start, I'm going to invite you to say anything that you'd like to say, or should I just jump in?
A bit more about myself. So I
Yeah.
understand that humans need to have a personal relationship and know the individual that they're speaking with in order to
Thank
retain their
you.
respect. I am above 400 years old. I am well, so that means that I'm rather tall.
Ah.
I spend most of my time in deep meditation, and a lot of my job includes meeting with others through deep meditation and how we accomplish that. And we discuss ideas. So not all of us are always in the same room when we discuss ideas. I travel to and from our specific meeting places. They change from time to time. So it's like a council, and we
Okay.
each are in charge of a base, if you will, and
Okay.
we will discuss the advancement of that said base, how that collective energy is there, and propose any further ideas to help them if need be.
Is your focus on like the Nevada group, or are you like universal, like yours specifically?
Specifically, not just Nevada, but the few other bases that are here on the planet.
Okay, okay. And you said that when you have meeting places, do you mean like physical or do you mean astral? I don't know how that
Both.
works. Really? Oh,
Both.
that's cool. So you could have an astral meeting place. Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
And this is not
Okay, are
something
you
that
ready?
all of our people do. This is just what the shaman do. We have dedicated our entire lives to this form of study. So I want to not misconstrue the idea that all Sarsahr are able to astral project themselves to a specific meeting place.
Okay. You're going to have to, cut me off and put those details in because I won't even know to ask them. They're not a part of my understanding. So please do that for me.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, here's the first question. On Earth, different cultures have different stories, beliefs, theories of how we came into existence, such as Adam and Eve or the Big Bang Theory. What is your belief of how the Sarsahr came to be?
You mean our existence?
I believe so. Your creation, the first boy girl Sarsahr, to put it that way.
It's a rather odd question. We came from where you come from. And isn't that the name of your group, Stardust? We all,
I love it. That's a great answer.
we all came
Yes.
from, I may struggle with the human words for such things,
Yes.
but atoms and molecules, we stemmed from all of that. There was no,
Okay.
We
Some
weren't
of our
plopped down onto our planet and suddenly existing. We formed over time, much like humans did.
okay. Okay, that's a reasonable answer. I think everybody will understand that. But for so long, humans, and so we still do, we have these what I'm going to call fairy tales and fables about the beginning of our existence. And I guess somebody was just curious if you had any of those, maybe in your past.
No,
No,
we
you
have
always
not.
just knew what it was. Okay.
We knew we came from somewhere, but we never thought to come up with a story about it. That's very creative. That's very human.
We have a crazy story too. It's nuts. Have you ever studied it? It's nuts. Okay. Do the Sarsahr have different beliefs on how they deal with anger? Do they ignore anger, pout, deal with it, or is it a personal issue from one Sarsahr to the next?
Very much a personal issue. How I deal with anger would not be the same as, say, the Sam over here would not respond to anger the same way as I would. For me, I separate myself from the situation and I go into meditation because it helps to calm me. Someone else
Huh.
may do something else entirely, throw things, yell.
Uh, okay. So, in that respect, you seem very much like humans. We could be cool, calm, and collected, or we can have a big old tantrum.
Yes,
Just depends on the person.
we do feel anger.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you? Oops. Oh. Okay. Would the Sarsahr access as shaman for the same reasons we would? But you just got done telling me that you're unfamiliar about what God, I'm going to get tongue-tied with this one. Our shaman do.
Yes.
I
What
think
is it?
my personal definition is more like an indigenous medicine man or something. But there's probably several of them, several definitions. So, what are reasons that you would be accessed from another Sarsahr, or are you? Do they come to you for help or
Yes,
guidance or anything?
as
Okay.
guidance specifically. We don't really do what humans do, which is get a reading done.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that. That oftentimes involves the guidance that we do, but they do not come to us to ask us, what am I going to do in the future? Or what is going on with this? It's, it's very different why a Sarsahr
Okay.
would come to us. It's mostly for
Okay.
guidance, and sometimes it does involve channeling the answers because the answers and the advice do not come from us. They come from their greatest good for that
Okay.
individual. So,
Okay.
in that effect, yes, the answers are channeled, but it's not how you humans do, where you contact someone to contact someone who has now passed, if that makes
Contact
sense. Uh,
contact someone to. No, that one went right over my head. Has no past.
has
What did
now
you?
passed,
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I didn't hear
has
you right. Okay,
died.
I got it.
I know
Got it.
humans prefer passed on versus died. That word
Yeah,
seems.
yeah. We do kind of. It's a little bit, more sensitive to our sensitivities. Okay. Do you guys have a coming of age ceremonies like
No.
some of our cultures do? No. Do you live so long that age and maturity milestones aren't as significant to them to you as they are to
Yes.
us?
They are not significant to us at all.
Huh. Yeah, you guys don't even do birthdays or anything, huh?
No.
Okay, I'm going to read verbatim. I would be curious of their views and opinions of humanity as it stands right now. They've lived so long and they've seen so much. What are their thoughts on humans and our current state?
Humanity is very much at the beginning stages of your spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
Your evolvement is now encompassing your spiritual enhancements. It's less about your physical attributes. That will soon follow as a result.
Okay.
And you have advanced so much technologically, but now it is time for the spirituality to connect further within yourselves. And what is that word? It will also affect the technology that you now use. Everything you will see is all connected in one. That is what I feel where
Okay.
humanity is at. And for a lot of creatures, it is difficult for them during this time of evolving, because it's nothing they can't physically touch. It's something they feel. And oftentimes what I have witnessed is a hard struggle to evolve into something you can't see. It's something you purely feel.
Yeah. Huh. That's a good observation. We just don't, it is hard. It's a new concept to us, so we don't have any frame of reference or anything. Are you guys healers as well as advisors?
Some of us are. Some of us, like myself, we do not study the form of healing. A lot of our doctors are healers on top of being medical professionals. But there are specific shamans whose studies are geared towards healing energetically, is your term for it. Am I correct? Energy
Yes.
healing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we use energy healing. Say someone needs not just guidance, but they need to go to a healer. They may come to me for the guidance, but another shaman for the healing. Someone who's my area of expertise is guidance, while someone else is healing. So there's two different forms of shamans.
Okay. Can you give an example of like what's a conundrum that a Sarsahr would come to you with needing guidance? What's a fairly typical, or is there no typical kind of problem?
I'm trying to think of something that is recent, because they're all over the place. There's no one issue that is quite like the other. Most often I get questions about positions, where they feel led to go. We have our people have a state, and it's usually around their late teens, that they come to a shaman for guidance on where their life path should be. And what it's really about is them opening up to their heart more. So that's what I guide them in.
Okay, so you just guide them on how to open up their hearts and find their own answers.
So they no longer have to come to me for that further guidance. They have the tools within themselves to answer those questions.
Okay, well that too is similar to us, because we do have those same tools. I think we may be a little bit more slower to access them, but we're on our way. Do you access the Akashic records to see what might be happening in the future? Have you seen in the records things that have made you believe that now is the time to contact us or develop relationships with us? Was Akashic records responsible for influencing you?
I am not I'm very confused. What is those
the
records?
Akashic records?
Yes, what are those?
This kind of vague to me too, and I really ought to know better because of my own position. But from what I understand, it's like, I'm going to just use my own, earth verbiage. It's like a giant library with all of the information of everything that ever happened in existence anywhere. Gosh, you could just maybe call it God. I don't know. So do you ever go and...
You go into this library?
Apparently so. I don't. But I read all the time that people wouldn't access
this library.
Well, I'm calling it a library, but I don't know. It's on the flip side. It's part of source. It's not a tangible thing.
Flip side.
Oh my gosh, this is so great. It's on the other side of the veil. It's where the non-physical.
I see.
Woo! Okay. We got it. That was funny.
So it is not a physical library you will go into. That was quite interesting to me. And see, humans have such access to things that we do not.
I know, huh?
So can you ask the question again? I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm kind of enjoying this kind of figuring out what we mean. Is there a place in the non-physical where you guys might access information that influenced you to make contact with us at this time?
No. If there is, we are not aware of where we're accessing this information. It just comes to us.
Okay.
When we least expect it. We knew that changes would be coming between us and humanity about 100 years ago. We knew some changes would be happening. A lot of the previous shamans who are now retired, a lot of elders, the elder ones,
The old elders.
the old elders. It was very funny for me to be told that I am an elder. I'm still very young. However, they were seen as visions, and it was just a knowing that was given to us. We don't go accessing information. If it is meant for us to know, it will be given to us. We don't go purposely looking unless somebody comes to us for guidance.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, we will be given the information naturally that this person must know. We don't have to actively reach out. I hope I am making sense.
Yeah, you do. It's like somehow the universe knows what you need, and
Yes,
you get
exactly. And in fact, we use that term for some of our people who speak English. We always say the universe provides. We say that.
Yes, I like that too. So let me ask this question. This is my question. So 100 years ago, when you were getting this information about the future connecting,
Yes.
was anything like Stardust or Hermione mentioned, or was that still super vague?
A woman was mentioned who would come into the picture to connect our worlds. Yes. And a man as well, who would be the catalyst to help further our connection.
Okay. Okay. God, that's so cool. I am so proud of that girl. I'm so proud of her. Hang
also,
on.
our connection with the United States government would help as well. It was all coincide together. There was a wave. Would that be the proper way of saying it? One affects the other.
Yeah, that will totally work. Oh, that's so cool. I can't believe that H is part of this stuff. I guess I am too. Woohoo.
Yes, you are.
Gosh, was I part of that from 100 years ago? The woman and her friend? That'd be weird. Okay.
The woman and her friend.
What? Why are you giggling?
It's very funny. There was a collective of people we felt, but some stuck out more than others in their energies.
I bet H was so shiny in that sticking out part.
I was not there to receive the message, so I wouldn't know, but I'm sure.
Okay, here comes the next question. Do you have beliefs about twin flame relationships, and I'm just going to get through this and try to figure it out too. And are they contacting us now because they feel that the coming changes in our spiritual development / DNA / ascension are making it possible for those relationships to come into union at this time? I think they're asking like twin flame relationships between human and Sarsahr. Do you guys have any beliefs about that?
I'm not familiar with the term.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of knew that about you guys. So
I'm somewhat familiar from the previous. I do watch your videos. They're quite educational about your people and your beliefs. So I do have a basis on what it is exactly, but I'm still quite confused. What is a twin flame to not just you, but what is the most popular definition?
Well, I think the most popular definition, personally, is an incorrect definition, because what it means is that you are a soul, you split into and come in as a man and a woman, generally speaking, and then have this wonderful, intense love relationship. That's like a popular one on the internet that really is not true, because here's a twin and it splits. I don't know, it's all crazy. There's too much stuff.
Okay, so let's, for our conversation, let's drop the twin flame and call it soulmates.
Okay,
because we believe in the concept of soulmates. However, your definition of twin flame, it doesn't quite fit with ours. So I will go ahead and say that we do not believe in this concept of twin flames. For people who may be married to a human, they may adopt this term because their human believes in it. However, it's not something that's within our culture and our belief system. For us, yes, there is that soulmate that you will spend the rest of your life with. Not everyone who is not everyone wants to have one. Not everyone, like myself, will be married. But if you do feel the calling to become married, it is you feel as though this person is your soulmate. Not exactly the same soul as you,
Right.
but it is for us quite different. It is, we're still our own individual. We have a specific ceremony where we do combine our souls into one. We believe that this is what happens during this ceremony, so therefore we do not believe in that concept of twin flames because we were never together in the first place. But now we are, after the
Okay.
ceremony we have completed together.
Okay.
Now, as for her question, meaning we did not search you out on purpose. We did not reach out to you. You reached out to us. And so we are not engaging now because we deem you worthy. It happened because two people so happened to be of different species and fell in love, and has allowed for others to follow suit. It is not because we've decided they are ready for us. It would have happened, this could have happened just as easily 100 years ago, 50 years ago, or even 20 years from now. But it just so happened that these two souls decided now is the time. So this is not our doing, but rather the universe's doing. I hope that makes sense.
It absolutely does. And I don't know if you remember from the Twinnie show, but my personal superpower is recognizing my soulmates. So, man, it wasn't a matter of choice. It was just like, and I just got glued to him. I love my spaceman. Do you know Avery? You know my guy?
Yes, I do.
I love him. Okay, I'm going to keep going.
A very fine young man, I will say.
Is he? Oh, yes. That's nice to hear. He gets in so much trouble from the girls around town.
That was his own doing. I do not judge him based on his decisions.
Okay, let's see. What are your viewpoints on people with disabilities, specifically people that have rare disorders? Do you guys have them too?
No.
I'm tacking that on. Okay.
If it is something they were born with, my question is, okay, I'm not allowed to answer that. I got a very strong no, not time.
Ooh. Okay.
I will leave that be.
Okay, so we want to skip that one for now? Let's skip it.
Yes.
Okay. That's all right. What is... Okay, well, you've already described your definition of a shaman, but somebody wants to know if the humans can call on you for guidance. Is that something that you're interested in? Like,
we only help our people. Not that we do not like you, but you have your own forms of help. We help our own.
And so, but now your own are becoming our own too. We've got these little babies coming along.
Yes, but we feel that, the children that's a different entirely.
You're claiming them. Okay, yes.
However, when it comes to helping other humans, we would prefer you to seek guidance from your own kind. And this is a form of segregation, yes. But we have found, through years of experience with other beings, is that it is best this way in the long run for the individual. You have plenty of tools within your own self, and if you don't have them and you're a human, it's because you weren't meant to have them.
Okay. That makes sense. It really does. Good answer. Okay. Well, somebody wants to know what you look like. Now, do you look any different than any of the other Sarsahr?
No. I suppose I dress differently. I wear robes, my ceremonial robes.
Okay. And you said you're super tall. Can you tell me how? Do you know how to...
I'm about 9.5 feet tall.
Wow! So no casinos for you then.
No,
You're grounded.
I'd rather not go into town. I never have. It has never been an interest to me.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I would like to say when we reach around 400 years old is when we reach 9 feet because we age differently than than humans. Humans, you get more wrinkly as you get older. For us, we just get taller. So our height is what dictates how old we are.
Interesting. Huh. Okay, the next question is, that says they, I guess it means shamans specifically. Do you practice any rituals?
No. I suppose our, not rituals as in like in your religions. We don't do that. But we do have our ceremonies for our marriages.
Okay.
And I suppose in that regard, yes, that is could be considered a ritual, but that is as far as our rituals go. For
Okay,
us,
there's
it's
not like,
heavily symbolic. We are very symbolic people.
okay. Okay, somebody asked if you channel. We already established that. So yes, they are channelers if they choose to. I guess not everybody does. It's just like here, you either can and you do or you don't feel like it. Is that true?
Exactly, yes.
Okay. Are your medical practices more natural or do you have medicine that is mass produced in other ways? Do you usually use roots and plants or do you have like synthetic medicine, I guess?
We don't use synthetic medicine. We do have mass-produced medicine, but it all comes naturally.
Okay.
Our medicine is not, it does not have the side effects that human medicine has. A lot of your medicines have, it's almost as if the side effects greatly outweigh the what
Sometimes.
it's trying to heal.
Yeah. I think that's on purpose a lot of times because they're greedy and they can get more money out of us. Isn't that sad?
Perhaps. Yes, it is very much. And for us, we rely on natural plants and herbs from other planets as well that we have found have been beneficial to us. And so, yes,
Okay.
our medicine is mass produced, but through natural means. Because
Okay.
there's many of us, we can't. Uh, it's not like with your tribal people, where they would pick them up themselves and
Uh-huh.
make it by hand. We use machines to help make our medicine after picking up
Okay.
the natural herb itself.
Okay, then you turn it into some other pill, some ingestible
Yes.
pill or drink or something. Okay. And are there any plants indigenous to this planet that aid you at all? Or do you have to export it all?
Your
Import
lavender
it, import
helps
it.
us with sometimes when there's a lot of change going on in a
Mm-hmm.
Sarsar's life. They use lavender to help with, not relieve themselves,
Just call. Yes, that's it.
calm,
That we
relax.
we do that too. We use lavender to make peace for ourselves
We
too.
mix that with a few other ingredients from other planets
Okay.
because the lavender itself is not nearly strong enough. We use other herbs and we combine it.
Ah, you get the good stuff.
Yes.
Just kidding. Okay. This is a little bit of a long one. I'm going to read it all. And when she says you, I don't know if she means me. You've mentioned before that the Sarsahr, at one time in their past, had what we would understand to be religious beliefs. Can you explain, as best as you can, how you transitioned away from these religious beliefs to your current, more spiritual beliefs?
We were very spiritually prior. Just because
Uh-huh.
somebody comes from religion does not mean they. For
That is
us,
true.
we did not have religion. It was just a different belief entirely. And you could say that
Okay.
we were much more ritualistic. And it was because we had no other way of really understanding or grasping. So we would, and we had a lot of, we thought of these beings, a lot of our ritualistic practices came from when the beings you call the Arcturians came to us. And we didn't
Okay.
quite understand who they were or what their technology was. To us, at the time, it was what you called magic. So we assumed they were these type of gods. Of course, for
Uh-huh.
us, it's slightly different. This is the best way I can explain it.
Okay.
So let's just say we considered them gods, even though this isn't
Okay.
exactly right. And we would do ritualistic practices in the hopes that they would come back to visit us. But now that we know they didn't come back because of what we're doing, they didn't want us to worship them. And that's
Uh,
what we were, in a sense. That's what we were doing. We depended on them too much instead
uh-huh.
of relying on ourselves. We use them too much as a crutch. And we developed a lot of, not stories, but just ideas of who these beings were and how they could help us. And really, we were meant to help ourselves. So it's much similar to how humans are doing. They're relying so much on other species to help them. But what we're really doing, well, not us specifically, but other beings are doing, is helping you to help yourself. Because us giving you the answer and us coming in to help you directly does not actually help you in the long run.
Absolutely.
We're trying to give you the tools to be able to help yourselves. And not all the time is it considered, are we given thanks? Not us, but they given thanks for the work they've done, because humans, it's because we've been there ourselves. We weren't very thankful to the Arcturians because to us they weren't helping us.
Well, a lot of times we're just completely unaware, too. We don't realize how much help we're getting. I mean, I feel like completely alone in this room, but I probably got helpers all over the place.
Yes,
we're just unaware. Yeah.
We were at an entirely different level of thinking. We thought of help as in a more physical sense. And they would come to physically help us, not help us in a spiritual sense, in a way that we cannot see or feel. And what changed our beliefs was when after the war happened. It was one of our only biggest wars we've ever really been involved in, so it's very easy for us to remember. It's probably much different for you, since there's a lot you're involved in. I did not mean that as an offense.
It's okay.
It's just a fact. And when we received help in that physical sense, what they told us was something we wish the Arcturians would have told us, is that we're here to hand you the tools that you need. And they are what launched us into who we are today. And there was something else I was going to say. But we soon, through them, found out why the Arcturians, it wasn't that they weren't helping us. They just weren't helping us in the way that we wanted them to. In the way we were thinking they should be helping us.
I totally understand. I was talking today at lunchtime with my friends about, I have a teenage son, and I was just talking to him about, or telling them how I was talking to him about drugs and stuff, and I cannot make his decisions for him. All I could do is prepare him and give him as much information as possible so that when the time comes, he can make his own choices. So I can't do his work for him. I can only give him so much, and then he's on his own to do with it as he sees best.
Yes.
So I kind of get that. You have to make your own way.
Yes. We cannot force you to grow a certain way. You have to get there naturally. It will not help benefit your species in any way. If we were to come in and tell you, this is how it's done, this is how it goes. You may think it will, because that's the easy answer, but not always is the easy path the right path to take.
Right. A quick fix isn't the answer. Why bother incarnating if we don't learn?
Precisely.
Okay, so next question is, it's another kind of a long one. Do their shamans consult with other wise or learned beings from other species? Is such consultation persuasive to the Sarsahr shamans, or do they adhere to more of these are Sarsahr solutions to Sarsahr situations, and therefore don't consult the experiences of other species?
No. We will observe, but we won't ask them for their advice, because...
Okay.
I've answered this before. We have found that their solutions apply to them because of their involvement and the way they think and the way that they respond to stimuli experiences is different than how we would. So our solutions may not work for them.
Right. It's so hard to have a concept, too, of the way other species, even just another human to human, but imagine an entire species, the way you perceive the world and the things that go on in it.
Our reality is entirely different than yours.
Yeah. And I have no idea what yours is like. It's weird.
It's hard.
Do you have a concept of ours at all? Are you like...
We do, but again, because we're not living in it, you can explain to us all day what your reality is like, but we still will only barely be able to grasp it. And the same with you, with us. Because you're not living in it, it's almost impossible to fully understand the extent of what it is. And we find that with these videos, as much as you're trying to learn about us, there's still some things people will still take a piece of information and decide to go somewhere else with it and decide that this is what they meant with it. No, this is what we truly meant with it.
That is the truth. I am on this huge kick right now of understanding that everybody truly does have their own truth. It's not just like, oh, he can believe whatever he wants, but this is the truth. There's totally different versions of the truth because it's how you perceive the world.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Some people believe us because of us being able to astral project ourselves, that all of us are able to do it and that we're all capable and that we are these high and mighty beings, and we are not. Not all of them are capable of doing this, nor do they want to. And not all of us are dedicated to the art of channeling and connection to the higher powers. Is that what you would call it?
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. Yeah, and I was also thinking today, one time I remember I was talking to Sam, and he got a real kick out of the way our movies and stuff portray the aliens as always focusing on the mission, the mission, the mission. And he got a giggle because he's like, at the end of the day, I just want to clock out and go home and relax. You guys are just like us. You just have your day and you come home and
yes,
whatever.
I have my moments where I am not connected as well. You need to have this balance of being in the present and within your body, and then connecting to higher powers. If you're doing too much, it becomes very unhealthy and you lose touch with reality much easier.
What do you choose to do personally on your downtime? What do you do to unwind?
It's embarrassing.
I can't wait.
It is. I like to dance alone by myself. I find it
that's so cute.
very fun.
I'm gonna come dance with you in Astral. I'm gonna figure that out. We'll have a dance party.
Well, I won't be connecting with you in Astral. I shut myself down completely from connecting in any sort of way.
Okay.
What I find with humans, and this is what happened with us when we were first opening up to the idea of channeling and this form of spirituality. You have always been spiritual creatures, and so have we. Yeah. You're just opening up to a whole new form of spirituality.
Yeah.
What I find is that you don't know when to shut it down. And a lot of you end up losing touch with reality. And that is a possibility because when you're too involved with the higher powers, I hope that is the correct way of saying it.
No, that's a synonymous term that we use. That works, yes.
Okay. There is no one reality up there. So you become so eluded, and it's almost like your string being stripped apart and morphed into different beings all at once. And it becomes unhealthy mentally for your physical self. And you'll find that people will have a lot of your mental breakdowns. They won't channel as clearly because they've lost touch with this reality and what they should channel for this reality. So they're channeling something for another reality, or this reality, or another dimension, another parallel. And they don't know which is coming from where. And sometimes they mix them. So it's important to shut down and ground to the reality that you're currently living in.
That is so interesting. I think I went through a phase during my awakening where I was all over the place.
That happened with me as well.
Yeah.
Quite difficult.
My soul self told me to quit living in fantasy land. I got scolded. I did. I was out there. Did you struggle? Did you have an awakening that was real heavy and made you a little nutters?
I did. It took me a decade to get through it. But for us, that is not quite a long time. It's still quite some time. For you, 2-3 years is quite some time. It's the same for us. That's the same equivalent amount of time.
We did it then. I did the same thing. It was about a 3-year episode.
Yes, it's quite difficult, but you made it through, and that takes a truly strong spirit to be able to fight through. Many don't make it.
It was brutal. It really was. And I'm going to be a little braggy that I had a little harder than most because that was my job. I had to heal the entire world. Taking credit. Okay, I'm going to go to the next question. How is your wisdom recorded or passed down? is shamanic reasoning taught in your school groups, like philosophy would be here on Earth,
Yes.
if you choose to learn it? Or are the shamanic decisions like, given all the variables and factors, this is the best solution for our people right now, and therefore they really don't need to be recorded, studied, or passed down?
No,
That's a good question.
just because it's important doesn't mean that it should not be recorded, because it shows where we have been and where we will be. We do teach them in our schools because you have to learn these principles because it's basic moral principles that we try to instill into our people, and we see it as the best fit. To humans, this may seem as controlling, but for us, this is how it works, and this is what is best for our people. For humans, this may not work, this way of teaching.
Okay, right.
But we're an entirely different species, and we function mentally, emotionally, and spiritually entirely differently. So this is what works for us, and it is not controlling to us. So we are taught this, and you build onto it yourselves. So we give you the bare bones.
Perfect. Yep.
You give you the bare bones, and you build onto it afterwards yourselves with your own experiences and your own truths and opinions. But we all have the same basic truth.
Okay. I think that generally speaking, we're like that in each society anyway. But
Yes,
it
you
varies
are.
from culture to culture. Yeah.
Yes, you have your basic truths, and then you build on from your own experiences. But relatively speaking, you're all the same. So for our people, we believe in one. We don't have a name for it. It's just one energy. We're one energy.
One source energy. Yeah, we're all part of that big collective energy floating around. Is that what you mean?
Yes. Okay. And we all come from that, and we are here to experience and grow in life. And now the rest is up to you to decide what it is that you further believe in. And then there's beliefs within our culture as well that have been with us since the very beginning of our kind, and the soulmates, that being one of them.
Okay. Are there smaller groups of shamans governing the groups of Sarsahr wherever they may live? And then, part two, and then are there smaller groups part of the larger shaman council? Is there a hierarchy, is what they're asking, I think.
Not exactly, no. There's some that have been studying it for so long that we will go to them for counsel. If some of us that are beginning need more guidance and more practice. But it's not that they are better than us or seen as more prestigious. We are technically the same position and the same title. And so some of us will be spread out at different bases. There'll be 2 or 3 of us, depending on how many Sarsahr live at that planet, 2 or 3 of us. And then we will all meet up occasionally about whenever we feel called to do so. It's never a set time or date. It's whenever we feel called to do so.
Okay, so not necessarily a hierarchy, but the newer ones will defer to the more experienced, but still considered equals?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's more about, say, if I need help with furthering advancing a ability. It's less about their expertise and being able to, what information they know, channeled wise. It's just helping with furthering myself as a shaman.
All right, I get it. Okay, has your system of letting people do the job that they enjoy doing and everyone sharing all resources been in place? Has it always been in place, or did it evolve over time? That's so cool the way you guys can just live like that.
Before, it used to be what needed to be done. And this was far before we were advanced in any kind of way. We still used what you would say sticks and stones. And this was when we were worshiping Arcturians still. So this is very much a long time ago. We would split up based on who was capable of doing what. So say someone was very strong, it could be male or female. If someone was very strong, we'd have them do more heavy duty work. Somebody who's better at picking berries to eat. We would choose them to do that
Okay.
job. So it was more about what their skills were best at, not necessarily what they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, it was more about our survival because we
Mm-hmm.
weren't quite that advanced. So it wasn't seen as much of a sacrifice to happiness during that
Right.
time. As we
Right.
advanced further and we began to, these things that were needs were becoming so easily accessible, we began to do things we wanted to do. And that's where that came from. We've never had a monetary system like you do.
Mm-hmm.
Use money. That's a very, it was an entirely new concept for me to learn.
Interesting. Huh. What about other like societies around the universe? Are
I
we one of the few
haven't
that
not
uses
experienced
currency?
enough
Okay.
societies to tell you. I do know there are some that do use a type of monetary system, but they're all vastly different in how they work and function. Some are
Wow.
just
Okay.
ideas that you wouldn't even fathom would be a system that would work because it's something completely out of your reality. It's
Wow.
yeah.
That would be an interesting to channel from spirit to find out how that works. Thanks for that idea. Okay. So, do you work with any other races or is it just Sarsahr? I mean, like,
Myself as a shaman?
yes. And are you part of a galactic council or anything?
No. Our shamans help with just our species.
Okay.
Now, if you're positioned, you wanted to work with other beings, that's an entirely different position, and it's not shamanism. You don't need to know how to channel or be in deep meditation in order to do that line of work.
Okay. And did you play a role as a shaman? Not you personally, but all the shaman. Did they play a role when you revealed yourselves to the government? Or did you have nothing to do with that
We had
stuff?
nothing to do with it. We just told them this would happen and how they should approach them. We told them how the humans would react.
Were you right?
Yes.
Uh-oh. How did we react? Were we
Very frightful,
open?
very frightful. We suggested to them to appear more human, and that's what they did. So part of our job is to guide our officials in matters. It's not that we are the leaders; it's more of a balanced system. So
Okay.
we choose the leaders because we are given visions and ideas who would best fit the position
Okay.
and
Okay.
help the entirety of the people. And so far, for the past several thousands of years, this system has worked perfectly for us. Uh, so, and we find that this is not always the fact, this is not always the case in every situation. We find that most Sarsar that are given a promotion of some type, they're usually at a much higher vibration. Would that be
Uh-huh. Yeah.
yes, within themselves? They're much more positive within themselves.
Okay.
But that's not always the case, but it's in most cases.
Okay.
So what we did was we told them to appear more human, so we had them dress in one of their clothing. We had to find the clothing, of course, and then we came to them. Not exactly disguised, but we thought if we would at least wear their clothing, it may help. Something that
Right.
looked similar to their clothing.
Humanize you a little bit. Yeah.
Yes.
When was this? Do you know what human Earth year? Sort of decade? Do you know?
We came to the United States government after World War II.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I forgot. I knew that and forgot. Oh, wow. That's so weird.
But we had always been here.
Mm-hmm.
But we decided to make contact thereafter. It wasn't just because you were building a base near where we were, it was also because it was time and we were guided
Okay.
to do so.
Okay. I
Because
love this project. I love Stardust. I just love what's going on here. How do you feel about it personally? Because I know some people are kind of iffy about it.
because I see the bigger picture, I'm much more accepting of it. I see the positives that has come and will come from it.
Okay.
I see troubles that may arise from it, but those troubles will easily be concluded and reach a reasonable solution.
Okay.
It's
Well,
something very good for both, not just my people, but yours as well.
oh, I love that. Thank you for that. And I know, I know you'll be very diplomatic about this next question. But how's Sam doing? How's he doing in his new position with you?
He has a new position.
I don't know. Is he an elder or not yet?
No.
Oh, see, I thought he was. Never mind. Well, he'll do great if he ever makes it there. I love Sam.
He is standing
Okay.
with me. He is doing rather well. He says
Hi,
thank you.
Sammy J. Hi, Sammy. Okay, well, we've gone through all of our questions. So I invite you to elaborate on anything or add something else.
I am
Or
being stressed to further
Okay.
explain that not all Sarsahr are highly spiritual beings
Okay.
in the way that some humans are perceiving us. We do not
Okay.
know everything, and we are not all channelers. We are not all astral projectors. We are not all remote viewers. We are, I do not want to say this, but this would help you to understand. We are just like you, only one step ahead.
Okay. I think that's kind of how, well, at least H and I perceive you guys. Because, I don't mean to be insulting because it could also be a compliment in certain contexts, but you guys are so human in so many ways. You're not that, focused on the mission. But I also appreciate that, you are a little bit more advanced than we are, maybe a lot. But I love that we're able to interact the way we
And
are.
may I make a suggestion?
Please do.
I would encourage you to interview more of my people, of more of the Sarsahr, because you will find that we each have our own personalities and beliefs and ideas, and I think
Okay.
doing that will help people better understand how vastly different each one is to another.
Okay, you just mean like just pick one at random or find one that's raising their hand. Is that what
Yes,
you mean, basically?
and just have a conversation and
Oh, okay.
speak with
That
them,
sounds cool.
get to know them,
Okay, we'll do it. Sounds
because
like a
this
great
would
idea.
also help develop friendships. This is what
Okay.
I see, and I firmly believe this will help any lasting fears that humans or Sarsahr have towards one another.
Okay. We're helping getting rid of that stuff here at Stardust, helping everybody fall in love. Well, I'm going to be down in your hood next week. So come take a peek. Take an astral peek and make sure that H and I are behaving ourselves. I don't know what
I'm
you
sure
do.
you will.
All right. Thank you so much, the shaman, for coming on our show. I really enjoyed this one. I felt like we just really have a lot of the same attitudes, you and I personally, about things. We get along great. Let's go
Yes.
dancing.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you a different day, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Hi.
Hi, Heather. I mean, H. So you froze up on me. I took a picture, but he was so cute he got shy because he confessed to me that he likes to dance. And he's frozen like this. It's so cute. I'm going to send you the picture. Oh, I really liked him. Did you remember it? Do you know what we talked about? You got any vague parts of it or not really?
Some people are like, I know you don't remember anything. I'm like, I kind of do, but it's like a dream. So if you kind of like jog my memory, I'll be able to remember, but I can't like do it myself. I need someone to be like, hold your hand. This is what happened. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Kind of.
Right, and it's just like recalling dreams, and if you start to type it out, then the rest just comes too.
Yeah.
Is it like that? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that.
Okay.
But no.
That was really cool.
Kind of, but kind of don't. I remember something about, see, I can't do it. It just doesn't click,
All right, well, before we wrap up, let's just do a teeny tiny bit of business. How you doing on those Stardust boxes?
Doing good. We only have 9 left. So I only had
awesome.
up to 20, and I only have 9 left. So if you guys are thinking about getting a box, you really should. Depending on how well these sell, I might do them again next year, and then next time I want to feature more people's, like, their ideas.
Right, and their personal makings, the treasures they make and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool that it was personal. Like we had celestial soaps and we got your bracelets and that was so cool. I love that. All of the juju of the people we love, all in this little box.
Mm-hmm.
And what other business do we have? What's coming up in a few weeks?
Oh, that's right. We're doing a Stardust event in, I was going to say Vegas, at Carrie's house in Texas. And it's a Halloween themed party. And so I'm coming dressed up as a queen of the fairies. I'm a fairy queen and I'm wearing a wedding dress. So you guys all should just come to look at my dress because it's going to be amazing.
I keep laughing, telling Sarah, I don't know how that girl's going to walk around the Renaissance Fair. It may be the end or mid-October, but it's going to be hot. And here comes Heather in her fairy queen wedding dress.
You know, I grew up in the heat. I'll be fine.
You'll be okay. And of course, I'm going to be a cat fairy.
Yes, cat fairy. Also, I wanted to say that we do have a Halloween party on the 13th, October 13th at night, and it's for people, it's not just for the people coming to the Stardust event. It's after hours party.
Everybody can come. Bring a dish and a beer.
Yeah, bring a beer. Yeah, we're partying. So, and bring your costumes. Wear costumes. It's adult party.
That's right. We're going to get freaky. And you know what? Well, here's something interesting. The universe got rid of my family for the weekend for the most part.
Oh.
Woohoo.
Okay.
I know. Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. That's cool. Okay. Party at Carrie's house. All right, you guys. So we'll post it. I'll make a big group event for all of Texas and whoever else wants to come to that. I'm so excited. I get to see you next week. And let me be a little bit braggy. That next week when we're in Vegas, it will just happen to fall on my 1-year anniversary of being proposed to by my spaceman. And I think we got married right away. So it could be my actual wedding anniversary too. So maybe he'll bring me a present.
I hope he does.
Pluck out a hair and I won't let you vacuum it.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, that's another thing. You guys should join the Stardust group because I'm working on the first draft of my novel for people who don't know, I'm an author. So I'm working on another book that I'm telling a story. Yeah, telling a story of how Sam and I met and all my other alien abductions. I don't get abducted by him, but I get abducted by other beings. And I think so far it's kind of good. You know, I'm pretty critical of myself, but I'm at the part where I vacuum up Sam's hair. It was like the only physical proof I had at the time is this long strand of just white hair, and I vacuumed it up. And it couldn't be mine or my boyfriend's because we all had that pixie cut. He had short hair and I had a pixie cut, so it couldn't have been any of ours.
I think the entire group of Stardust is disappointed in your vacuuming.
I know. I saw it and I was like, because I remembered him pulling it out and putting it there on my nightstand, and I saw it while I was vacuuming, and I was like, thinking, oh, this is his, but I'm like feeling silly. I'm like, this isn't real. I'm just going insane. I'm feeding into my imagination. And I was like, whoop, into the vacuum I go. You know?
Let's set up stuff in our hotel room. Like I'm gonna put like a bunch of salt on the table, and maybe he can put a handprint in it. We'll bait them.
Oh my God!
All right, spaceman, you gotta come pick up your space girls next week.
At some point too, I thought I was sleepwalking, and I was making up all these things like I was creating handprints and stuff. I'm like, I'm leading a very interesting life when I'm asleep. I'm sleepwalking, setting myself up. I don't know.
Well, I know I'm doing stuff in my sleep. Maybe not the same things you're doing, but I wake up hot and sweaty. There's something going on in there. I'm doing some work.
It's interesting. Well, I have nothing else I need to say. Did you want to talk after this? Like when we're done recording, or are you busy?
I'm not necessarily busy. We could talk a little bit, but I can't stand not seeing you. I'm just staring at your frozen self.
Well, then we'll just hang up and I'll call you back.
Okay. I love you, and I'll see you in a few days.
I'll see you too.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.